So have you ordered your robe yet, OJ?
I have, but it takes forever to come in, apparently.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I may have to borrow one. Kendall said he would lend me one.
Oh, well, I guess that's a good problem to have, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Judge, hello.
Howdy, how's everybody? Danny Vargas, like that screen name. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October the 1st. My name is Judge Esparza. We have some writ hearings today. The defendants are all present. They were sworn in earlier. The first case I'm going to call is E4477-24-C, State of Texas versus Hector Basaldua.
Good afternoon, Your
Speak
Honor.
English, correct, Mr. Basaldua? Okay. Good afternoon, the client's present. He speaks English. You may proceed.
So Your Honor, my client is charged with sexual assault. I have conferred with counsel for the state, opposing counsel. We cannot reach an agreement as far as a reduction in the bond. I would be requesting to the court a reduction. My client does not have the funds. The bond that is currently set is prohibitive, and he's not able to come anywhere close to what is being requested right now. His bond on this charge is $15,000. We would be requesting a reduced bond of $5,000 cash or surety.
Jay.
Judge, the state believes that the bonds are reasonable based on the defendant's criminal history. He is habitual. He does have prior violent crimes in the past that he's been convicted of. In this case, he was out on bond for 2 other felonies when he allegedly committed and was arrested on this new sexual assault and prohibited sexual conduct. And according to the complaint, Your Honor, he did confess that he engaged in sexual intercourse with his stepdaughter. So we believe that the bonds are reasonable as set based on his criminal history, based on the fact that there is a duty to look out for the safety of the community and setting bonds as well. So we'd ask that they remain the same.
What were the 2 felonies he was out on bond on? I don't recall.
Injury to a child or elderly, Your Honor, and possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, between 1 and 4 grams.
Okay.
And let me confirm, Judge, it was injury to a child, not injury to elderly.
There was an EPO issued on this case, but it was for, looks like 60 days. It has since expired. If you make bond, Mr. Basaldua, ask that you have no contact with the victim or the victim's family. That means don't go by their house. Don't tell a friend and go tell somebody something. Don't send a text message or any type of messages to them. Do you understand that? Sure. I find out that you're violating that order while you're out on bond, I'll put you back in jail. Do you understand that? Yes, sir. Also going to be ordered that you be released to AIP officials. You're going to be under house arrest. Do you work, sir? No, sir. Social Security benefits or what? Sure. I'm going to ask that you be released to AIP officials, which means you'll be under house arrest. You cannot go anywhere unless they give you permission. They will come here before you're released. They will give you a contract. Make sure you read it. Don't just sign it, because there's about 20 rules that you need to follow. And you're going to sign it saying that you read those rules and you understand them. So if you violate them, don't come back here saying, well, I didn't read it. I didn't understand it. You understand me? Sure. One of them is don't get arrested. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and no contact with the alleged victim. If you need to go to the doctors, you need to call them first, tell them where you're going and what time you'll be back. And they're going to verify. If you're not at home when you're supposed to be, or you're not at the doctors or wherever where you're supposed to be, that's a violation. They'll report it to me and you'll end up back in jail. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Bond will be reduced to $7,500 cash surety. Anything else on that, Lydia?
No, Judge, I don't know if you can hear me. My computer froze. I don't know if you can hear me saying anything.
I hear you now, yes.
Okay, I can see you all, but my part's frozen. I did hear the reduction to 7,500 cash surety.
That's correct. And he'll be released to AIP officials, no contact with the victim or the victim's family.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have before this honorable court. May I please be excused?
Yes, thank you, Lydia.
Thank you, Judge.
Go ahead and have a seat, sir. Good luck to you. Next case we're gonna call is C 4482-24-C, State of Texas versus Felicia Siglos.
Yes, Felicia Silas.
Siglos. Good afternoon. You speak English, correct, Ms. Siglos?
Should I say right here, Judge? Okay.
Yeah, right there's fine. Move back a little bit. Right there's good.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Jorge Ortega. Good afternoon. It's your motion, sir. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge.
Just so you know, the complaint has been filed on the 2 misdemeanors, so all she has is the assault on the public servant charge.
Okay, so I'm assuming, Judge, then if that's the case, that there's an assault against an elderly or disabled that ended up getting busted down to a misdemeanor, Your Honor?
Looks like it.
Okay, and I think OJ's confirming that that was moved to a misdemeanor. Okay, Your Honor, we'll have to file motions to reduce on those. Your Honor, on the assault on a public servant, Judge, well, as this court knows by reading my motion, she has 3 bonds set at $10,000, which are well beyond her financial means, Judge. She has been incarcerated now, Judge. I spoke to her early last week, Your Honor, and she's been incarcerated since before that, Judge. She does have familial support. Her grandmother called me earlier, Judge, and you know, being with those 2 bonds being stuck at $10,000 for now, Judge, we were going to ask for all those bonds be reduced to $1,000 cash surety on each charge. But this court obviously only has jurisdiction on 1, Your Honor. We'd ask that that one be reduced to $1,000. As this court knows, she's going to have to spend some time in jail until we can go to court on those misdemeanors and try to get those reduced, Judge, so that she can get out and we can work on these cases together, Your Honor. She is a U.S. citizen. She is presumed innocent, Judge, and we would like this court to take that into consideration in reducing those bonds, or reducing the bond that we have jurisdiction over, Judge.
Okay, what says the state?
Judge, if I could just ask the court to ask Mr. Ortegon to clarify what he means that she was incarcerated before this offense. I didn't understand what he meant by that.
No, what I've been saying is that she's been incarcerated now for about 10 days, Judge, meaning that, you know, what I like to do is mention how long that I believe that they've been in jail before we show up to court. We would have been appointed early last week, Judge, and we would have filed the writ right after that. So I know she was in jail when we had our jail call. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
I didn't see any priors on her.
No,
I didn't. No. I didn't either. But the way it made it sound like she was in jail already.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant, Judge.
Judge, the state doesn't have any objection to being reduced to 1,000 cash surety if the court doesn't.
Mrs. Siglos, where do you live, ma'am?
I live in Penitas, Texas.
What address?
4120 Condell Road.
Okay, and that's where you were arrested, correct?
Yes, correct.
I believe it was your stepfather who was the alleged victim.
Yes.
I didn't see a protective order issued here. I'm just gonna ask that you have no harmful contact, which means you can go back to that address as long as you're behaving. You start getting out of hand and he calls the police, you're gonna be arrested again for violating the conditions of bond. You understand that? Do you have a job?
Right now I'm receiving unemployment benefits. I'm an RN.
When was the last time you worked?
At May. The Superior Hospice. I'm an hospice RN.
I'm gonna order monthly UAs, which means you're gonna get drug tested for drugs or alcohol. You come back positive for drugs or alcohol during the time that you're out on bond, I'm gonna put you back in jail. Is that clear?
Yes.
Probation will contact you. Make sure you show up when they tell you to show up. Not a week later. You show up when they schedule you to show up. Is that clear?
Yes.
Bond on this case will be reduced to $1,000 cash surety.
Thank you, Judge. And just for Ms. Siglos to hear me, I'm going to go ahead and file those motions to reduce on the misdemeanors that would have just been filed, Your Honor. That's all I have, Judge. May I be excused at this time?
Now, you understand that, Mr. Lewis. Those other 2 cases, your bond is still set at $10,000, but I don't have jurisdiction over them. He's going to file it in another court. or you pay the bond on it, but he's gonna try and get those reduced. So it may be a couple of days before that happens. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. All right, good luck to you. Thank you, Mr. Ortegon.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a great one. Thank you, OJ.
Next case we're gonna call is C 4440-24-H, State of Texas versus Jesus Garcia. Speaking is correct, sir? Mr. Garcia is present. Daniel Vargas?
Good afternoon, Judge. How you doing?
Good, good. May proceed.
Judge, it looks like Mr. Garcia, there's an entry that says that the charges were dropped on this particular case, which is unauthorized use of a vehicle. But then there's another entry, which is it has an identical booking number. And that one doesn't show a disposition. I was going to ask for a reduction in bond. He hasn't been able to bond out. I don't know if this is a misdemeanor or felony, but he claims that the guy who he was hanging out with allowed him to use the truck. Unbeknownst to him, that guy had taken it from his mom without permission, probably. I don't know what the full story is. But it looks like there's an entry that says that the charges are dropped. So I'm not sure if they're going to continue with this case or not, Judge.
I'm speaking to staff here at the jail. They just rebooked him. Apparently there was an error or something, but it hasn't been dropped. It's still there. It's still pending. It's a state jail felony, unauthorized use of a vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess he hasn't none of his family members. We haven't been able to reach anybody in regards to this, and it's a low bond. I mean, 10,000. So we just don't want him to be sitting around in jail for too long, Judge. And I think this is going to be an easy case to dispose of. So I'm asking for like a $1,000 bond on him.
OJ?
Judge, he has a bit of a history. The state's not opposed to a reduction, but we'd ask that it be no less than 2,500 cash surety.
We're fine.
So he just did. I thought I read something on the judgment here.
Yeah, he just got convicted of possession of controlled substance August 20th.
Did 105 days, right?
I'm sorry, Judge?
Did 105 days on August 25th,
Yes.
August 14th. Yeah. You like spending your time in jail? How old are you? How old?
31.
You have a job?
Working traffic oil fields. I just exit out.
I don't want. I'm just asking if you have a job, sir.
No, sir.
Where do you live? Who do you live with? In a house or an apartment? Okay. You've been through this before. You understand if you get out, it's just a bond. You're gonna have to show up at a later date to the courthouse to take care of this case. You understand that, right? Bond will be reduced. $1,500 cash surety. Order monthly UAs. No drugs, no alcohol when you're out on bond, so you come back positive for either one, you're gonna come back to jail. You understand that? Make sure you show up to probation when they tell you to get tested. Anything else on that, Danny?
That's all, Judge.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You too. Next one we're gonna call is C 4451-24-8, State of Texas versus Ruben Pacheco. Mr. Pacheco is present. He speaks Spanish. Vito, this is your motion. Just go slowly so that my coordinator can translate for you.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, just for a little bit of this court's memory, we've been here before. My client was arrested initially on January the 12th of 2024. In June of this year, I filed a writ of habeas corpus due to the fact that 90 days had passed. He had not been indicted at that time. The court graciously reduced the bonds at that time to, I believe, $2,500 cash surety on all 5 counts. Unfortunately, my client is indigent. He could not pay that. His daughter could not afford that. I talked to her at the time. So we just waited for the indictment. It's been another 90 days, Your Honor. Now it's been 264 days since he was arrested with that indictment. I believe that the code is clear, Your Honor, at this point. 17.151 allows for him to get a PR bond at this point, then since we've exhausted all other attempts and the state is not indicted at this point.
OJ,
Judge, I don't know, does that trump the statute saying that you statutorily can't get PR bonds for these types of cases, Vito? Do you know?
I believe so. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but as far as I know, the case law I've seen has dealt with other charges. I don't know if it has anything to do with assaultive offenses or anything like that. That I don't know. I just know that as far as I know, it's been 264 days. It's 3 times the 17.15 limit. All he has is an ICE hold. I don't believe the ICE hold is a pending charge necessarily. And that we've been arguing as far as case law, whether or not the assaultive offenses, I don't think it would, but I don't have any case law this time. I do have case law, other case law prior to the assaultive, I guess the order about the PR bonds for assaultive offenses. I don't know if there's been any case law since.
Yeah, and I'm not sure as well, Judge. I don't know statutorily if the court could give him PR bonds. I know that Annalise spoke with our intake department. Essentially, they're saying that we're sorry this slipped through the cracks. You know, we missed it. We'll try and get it indicted as soon as we can. But I don't show that it has a grand jury date at this point. I'm not trying to argue that the defendant's not entitled to relief. I just don't know if PR bonds is the appropriate relief.
And Judge, I apologize, OJ. Please finish.
No, so I was going to say, so we'll leave it at the court's discretion as you'd like to handle it.
And Judge, I would just argue that they were notified in June about this problem, 90 days, more than 90 days after the original arrest. It's been another 3 months since then, Your Honor. They've had enough time to rectify the situation. At this point, I believe the only proper solution would be the PR bonds. If the ICE hold is enforced and they send him and deported, well, I guess we'll have to figure that out. He may just be released. He is a resident, as far as I know. So he may be released, and I do have his daughter's address and those kind of things where he'll probably be at. But again, I would feel at this point, Your Honor, 264 days is pretty extreme for no indictment to take place.
the bond on the indecency charge will be reduced to $2,500 PR. There's 3 counts of aggregate, there's 4 counts of sexual assault, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Can you make any type of bond, Victor, if I reduce each one of those to 250?
I talked to his
$1,000?
talked to his daughter about this, Your Honor. She's of the mind that she'll take him, but she don't want to pay anything. She's not paying anything. So, and he doesn't have any money. Matter of fact, I don't even know where the situation has been because he's super confused. He doesn't really know, like he's not understanding his charges. I haven't received the information, of course, but the case has not been indicted, so I don't have all the facts of the case. There's been a lot of factors in this case that kind of stymied my representation of Mr. Pacheco, which is why at this point, Your Honor, I don't want to wait another 3 months potentially, and he still hasn't been indicted.
Yeah, and it looks like they sentenced him to 2 years back in August of 2022. And I think prior to his release, these charges popped up. Right? Isn't that what came up last time?
These charges predate that previous, these offense dates predate that previous incarceration, Your Honor. So actually, these ones, I'm not sure why they came up afterwards, but all of these charges stem from 2000 and I believe
2021.
I think 2009, 2010. Yeah, the offense dates are 1/1/2009, and there's one that says 4/1/2019, but there's one that says 1/1/2010 as well. So most of these predate his previous, I guess, stint in prison. Which is another reason, Your Honor, I would think, I don't know why this hasn't been indicted yet, but it's already been that long since these offense dates took place.
Yeah. Let me look that up on that aggravated sexual assault, if in fact a PR bond can be granted or not.
Can we have a reset date, Your Honor? Come back and maybe hear this case later in the week or next week? And if they haven't, I don't think they'll have indicted at that point, right? Is that correct, OJ?
I don't think so.
We can set it for Thursday. You can just give me some time to look it up.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll
I
set
have no problem with
We'll
that.
set it for Thursday.
Okay.
And we'll take care of it at that time.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
All right.
Okay, Your Honor. Have anything further to make excuse, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you. Thursday is the third, right? Yeah. Now you'll get a Zoom invite tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll be back on, tell them we'll be back on Thursday afternoon. Buena suerte, señor. Toma asiento. The last case we're gonna call, I don't see Sergio Sanchez on here. C 4466-24-C, State of Texas versus Mark Dunyoka.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you speak English, correct, Mr.
Yes,
English? Mr. Sergio Sanchez is your attorney. He's not on the screen. You want to call him real quick? Have you had a chance to talk to him about this case, OJ? Have
No,
you
Your
spoken
Honor.
to him at all?
I have not.
The smuggling case, bond set at 20,000, your recommendation? OJ,
I guess 10,000, Judge, cash surety. I don't think he's from Hidalgo County.
yeah, that's what where do you live, sir?
Dickinson, Texas.
Where's Dickinson, Texas?
Galveston County.
Galveston
Yes,
County?
sir.
You also have a warrant out of Galveston County, sir, for, looks like a sale of alcohol to minors charged. They have a bond set at $2,500 on that case also. I'm just telling you, okay? You can have your attorney take care of it. He's not here right now. The charge you're looking at is this, it's a third-degree felony, correct? These are the minimum 10 years now?
Minimum 10 years. That's correct, Judge. Well, actually, this is a
so
second degree, Judge, because it has the likelihood to create serious bodily injury or death based on the conditions that the individuals he was smuggling were in.
Oh, that's right, it is an F2. It's a second-degree felony, sir, which means if you're convicted, you could go to prison minimum of 2 years up to 20 years. You understand that?
Minimum 10 years,
What do you
Judge.
do up in, yeah, what do you do up in Dickinson? Do you work?
I work at the gasoline station, but right now they fire me because I'm here.
Do you have family that lives in?
My dad died 2 years ago. That's my family only in Sugarland.
So you live by yourself up there?
Yeah.
No wife, no kids?
My wife is in Mexico.
How long have you lived in Dickinson County?
Like 2 years.
2 years? Where were you living before that?
Sugarland, Missouri City, sir.
Sorry?
Missouri City,
How long did you live there?
7 years, like from 2016 to 2021. Before my dad passed away.
Are you a US citizen
Yes, sir.
or naturalized?
No, I was born natural born, sir,
Where were you born?
in the Philippines. Irving, quite Irving.
Your parents are US citizens?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My dad is veteran.
So you're not here on a visa, you're a US citizen?
Yes, sir. I used to be a government employee for 16.5 years.
You have an address in Sugarland or
Yes, sir.
Dickinson?
Before,
Where you living now?
no more because I got evicted on my last thing.
Do you have,
Now I'm
if you get out, where will you be living?
in a motel, I guess, for now. But yeah, I'm using my sister address,
What's your sister's address?
3426 Remington Falls Drive, Missouri City.
Your sister lives there?
Yes, sir.
Big bond, that's where they're gonna send the notice that you need to show up to court to that address. So you need to make sure that you stay in contact with your sister because you're gonna have to come back here and take care of these cases. Do you understand that? Because you're not from this county, A bondsman may charge you more than the 10 to 15%. You understand that?
Yes.
We're gonna reduce the bond to $5,000 cash surety. I was gonna ask you, I thought you had a passport. Let's see. If you leave the county, sir, I'm gonna ask that you report monthly via phone. Stay in contact with your attorney and we'll have, give you a phone number where you call in once a month to probation to let them know where you're at, your location and so forth. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Anything else, OJ?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Bond will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank
We'll
you.
see.
How about the notice?
That one is gonna stay the same, $2,500, so you have to pay the bond on that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, OJ.
Thank you, Judge. We'll see you. Have a good day.
All right, you too.